I got a really cool piece of advice from somebody I respect a lot about half a year ago. And he told me, Jared, when you try and start a business, you are going to get advice from all directions, from people that are qualified to give it to you and people that are overqualified to give it to you. And it's going to be your job to sift through all the conflicting pieces of information that you get, and you're gonna have to choose which path to take. It's basically like you're staring at a white blank piece of paper and there's a bunch of artists telling you what you should draw and how you should do it, and some of them are contradicting each other. And here's an example of when that happened to me recently. Tim Ferriss's book, what's it called? Tools of Titans. He does an interview with some big investor guy. I think the dude was also a founder, serial founder. Maybe he's just an investor. But this dude, he says pivots are a bad thing. And from a lot of other people, you'll hear that pivots are a good thing. And for a sort of hyperlogical guy like me, it kind of short circuits your brain a little bit. You're like, oh shit, now what do I do? And I don't actually know the answer to that. I think it probably depends on the situation. And the reason that it actually made me worry is because I'm in a situation where I started a business, PixGenie, and saw some success, didn't quite see critical mass, it wasn't really taking off, and so I pivoted, and I pivoted again, and I pivoted again, and here we are at another pivot. And sure, the whole classic advice of you start a bunch of businesses, many of them fail, and then your overnight success was built over 10 years. I do subscribe to that, I do believe that. But then hearing somebody who's I can't remember who the dude's name was. It was in the wealth section of the Tools of Titans book. But hearing somebody that's a really successful Silicon Valley investor say the opposite, that you don't want to make all these pivots, it's the fact that you have a bad business model to begin with. I mean, that's kind of a scary thing to think about, and it's something you do have to face. You have to be willing to face the reality that you could be wrong, and the things that you're doing could be absolutely stupid. So yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with this, except that I am reiterating what my mentor told me. And when he told me, you're going to get a bunch of conflicting advice, that's just the truth of the matter. That is probably the most difficult thing that I deal with on the day-to-day when I'm trying to work on building stuff like full-time. It kind of sucks, but I feel like if you can learn how to make decisions quickly and fully commit to them, that would probably be a really valuable skill to fix this problem here. So that saying is true. I'm not sure about the other one. We'll have to see after this pivot.